Yes, so I believe that we are live and we are live in multiple sessions, multiple platforms. So yes, Komal, Bose, Babu, Vivudha, what are your views in terms of introversion? When we talk about introversion, what do you think about it? Anybody would like to share any thought? Because I asked this the same question I asked in the group and I got really interesting answers. So I just want to repeat that mood, and then we will jump into the topic. So yes, anybody would like to, or you can put in a comment box, what do you think about the introversion? Even when people are watching me uh, in YouTube or in LinkedIn, they can also reply and they can also tell me, what do you understand by introversion? Okay, what comes in your mind when you heard this word introvert? Okay, yeah. So
Yeah, ma'am, may
uh,
I?
yes, Komal, please.
Yeah. So, ma'am, according to me, the introvert means a person who feels more like, or we can say, who feels more comfortable in a very quiet environment. Quiet
Okay,
environment. And
okay. So who is more comfortable in a quiet environment? That's what you are
quiet,
saying. Okay,
yes.
okay,
And
fine.
second thing is
Any
what I feel that an introvert person always thinks before speaking. So हिंदी में हमें
Can you repeat again, Komal? And can you speak little louder?
हाँ intro okay introvert means a person मतलब who thinks before speaking, who
Who
thinks
think before
before
speaking?
हाँ
Okay,
मतलब
okay.
his preference is more thinking
हाँ.
before speaking. तो हिंदी में हम बोलते हैं ना मैम, तोल मोल के बोलो.
तोल
तो
मोल के बोलो. Very good.
बोलो
Yes, yes, correct. Yes. तोल
so
मोल के
that
बोलो. ये बढ़िया definition दिया आपने. Okay. Boss Babu, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got it. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So I was asking to set the mood and set the topic and set the context. What comes in your mind when you say when you hear this word introvert?
It's basically the presence of mind, and I think some sort of, I think, preparation of something. I think before you end up talking or
Okay.
meeting something.
So
So
I'll put everything whatever you are saying. Okay.
yeah,
So you and I'll share the screen. Okay. So you are saying presence of mind and
yeah,
preparation.
yes.
Okay. And Komal said, Komal, can you repeat again?
ma'am, according to me, who feels more comfortable in the quiet
In a,
environment.
oh, yes, yes, you said
And
that.
second
Yes.
is his preference is thinking before speaking.
Thinking what?
Thinking before speaking. मतलब
Thinking before speaking. हाँ, तोल मोल के बोल आपने बोला था. Correct,
तोल
correct.
मोल के बोलना. Yes.
Hmm. तोल मोल के बोल. Okay. ठीक है, perfect. ओके. एंड ये तो हमारे पॉजिटिव साइड्स की हम बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है ना? तो अब मैं अपना स्क्रीन शेयर करती हूँ एंड देन वी विल डिस्कस फर्दर. Okay. Because this time, let me try again. Okay. All right. So I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I'll just increase the size so that you can see it clearly. Okay. So yes, as I asked questions about the about what comes in your mind when you think when you hear this word introvert. Okay, so as Komal said, as you said, that it's more of a thinking and preparation and presence of mind, right? So now let's talk about the other side, which I heard, which most of the people think like introverts are shy, right? I heard that the other word which I heard from people is they like isolation, as Komal also mentioned. Okay, they are the antisocial. This is also I heard from somewhere. Okay, social. So this is the idea which when I talked in a WhatsApp group, and this is something which I got from different people. So these are the idea in general we have about introvert people. Okay, now why I talk about this topic and why I'm sharing that introversion is important to understand, and how people perceive the introvert people, right? So आप लोगों ने बहुत सारे लोगों में से ऐसे ऐसा भी सुना होगा कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल when you say that when you see a child in a school, and you feel that the child is most of the time he is quiet or she is quiet. Okay, और जब आप किसी गैदरिंग में रहते हैं, when you see your child speaking less, or when you see that your child is less socializing, then you raise a concern कि यार मेरा बच्चा ना बोलता नहीं है, यार मेरा बच्चा ना डिस्कशन नहीं करता, यार मेरा बच्चा ना इन्वॉल्व नहीं होता है. Then it's a big concern for us, correct? I think you would be agree and you would be able to understand and relate with it, right? So again, what we are talking here, it's very theoretical, presence of mind, deep thinking, but the world, the practical, the reality of the world is something else. रियलिटी ऑफ वर्ल्ड में ये कम चलता है कि तोल मोल के बोल, बट रियलिटी ऑफ वर्ल्ड ये है कि जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, राइट? हमारे कंसेप्शन चेंज होते जा रहे हैं. सो दैट्स द पॉइंट कि हमारे जो इंट्रोवर्ट, जो हमारे बच्चे कम बोलते हैं, या जो इंट्रोवर्ट पीपल है जो कम बोलते हैं, उनको हम बोलते हैं यार ये सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो पाएगा, ये कहीं चल नहीं पाएगा. द सेम थिंग वॉज अप्लाइड टू मी. जब मैं छोटी थी तो मेरे लिए भी लोग यही सोचते थे कि यार तुम तो कुछ बोलते ही नहीं हो, तुम तो अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू रखते ही नहीं हो, तुम तो क्लास में पूरे टाइम चुप रहते हो, तुम्हारा आगे क्या होगा. सो दिस वॉज द कंसर्न रेज्ड ड्यूरिंग माई चाइल्डहुड, एंड आई होप मोस्ट ऑफ यू वुड बी एबल टू रिलेट, क्योंकि रिसर्च बोलती है कि अपनी दुनिया में, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग ओनली अबाउट वर्ल्ड, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द होल वर्ल्ड, राइट? आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग ओनली अबाउट इंडिया. पूरी दुनिया में 1/3 people are introvert, 1/3 जनरेशन आर इंट्रोवर्ट. ठीक है, तो ये तो बड़ा चैलेंज. अच्छा, तो ये एक हमारा रिसर्च हो गया कि 1/3 पीपल, मतलब 30% वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन में 30 to 40% पीपल आर इंट्रोवर्ट. अब हम इंट्रोवर्ट समझेंगे कि ये प्रॉब्लम है कि नहीं है, वो हम बाद में समझते हैं. ठीक है, अब सेकेंड पॉइंट आता है कि इंट्रोवर्ट, अगेन आई विल शेयर माय स्क्रीन. ओके, सो दिस इज द कंसेप्ट. नाउ ये तो मुझे बचपन से सुनने मिला कि हाँ आप इंट्रोवर्ट हो, आप किसी के सामने बोलते नहीं हो, आप किसी के सामने अपने व्यूज एक्सप्रेस नहीं करते, आप क्लास में सबसे ज्यादा चुप रहते हो, आपका फ्यूचर कुछ श्योर नहीं है, आपका फ्यूचर सर्टेन नहीं है, क्योंकि आप विजिबल नहीं हो, राइट? अब व्हेन आई केम टू कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड, और जैसे जैसे टाइम आगे बढ़ने लगा कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड में, व्हेन इट केम टू टेक लीडरशिप पोजीशन, तो व्हाट फीडबैक आई गॉट फ्रॉम माय मैनेजर कि आकांक्षा बहुत ज्यादा सॉफ्ट स्पोकन हो, आकांक्षा यू वोंट बी एबल टू हैंडल द टीम बिकॉज यू आर टू सॉफ्ट स्पोकन. How many of you can relate with this, and how many of you have heard by yourself your boss saying something like this कि आप बहुत ज्यादा सॉफ्ट स्पोकन हो, आप टीम को हैंडल नहीं कर पाओगे, राइट? वहां पे टीम लाउड है, करेक्ट? सो दीज आर द परसेप्शन अबाउट द इंट्रोवर्ट पीपल कि आपको टीम लीडर बनना है तो आपको लाउड होना पड़ेगा, आपको लोगों को चिल्लाते आना चाहिए, आपको लोगों को काम करवाते आना चाहिए बाय वो बोलते हैं ना साम दाम दंड भेद, राइट? तो ये हमारे परसेप्शन है इंट्रोवर्ट के. एग्जैक्टली. Right. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Team will take you in a light way. Exactly, Komal. That's my point is correct. So ये अब challenge है, ये reality है, मतलब ये जो perception है हमारे introvert को लेके, तो अब हम देखते हैं कि theory में हमने क्या बोला कि they have presence of mind, they have they are the deep thinker, तोल मोल के बोलते हैं, ये सब on paper बहुत अच्छा लगता है. It's very good on the paper. But when it comes to the reality of the world, the picture is something else. The picture is that if you can speak, if you are visible, if you can lead, if you are loud, then only you can be a great leader. Okay, so the same story is with me, and I believe that same story you would also be related somewhere or the other. Correct. Now let's move to the misconception about introvert. सबसे पहले तो हम ये समझते हैं कि introvert exactly है क्या, because there is a lot of misconception about the introversion. Okay, so let's deep dive and let us understand what exactly introvert is and what are the misconception about the introversion. Okay, so the biggest misconception about the introversion, that it's a personality problem. It's the challenge in personality which you need to fix. Okay, see, it's not a personality challenge, it's a personality trait. So, if you are an introvert, you don't have to change anything about yourself. Yes, you can be ambivert, you can be little open, you can be little social, but it does not mean that there is some problem in your personality. Everybody has a different personality, so are you having the different personality, right? So there is not a problem in your personality if you are an introvert, and there is no need to fix your problem. Okay, but we will see how to take it further. Okay, now introverts are shy and underconfident. How many of you think, if you are watching me LinkedIn, if you're watching me on YouTube, you can also answer this question, that what do you think, that introverts are shy, introverts are underconfident? Yes. Okay, so yeah, this is the conception about introversion. Yes, anybody would like to add anything? Maybe Bose Babu, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, maybe or may not be. Not all introvert or shy, but
Hmm.
yes, they speak less. They're calm,
Hmm.
and they don't want somebody to intervene in this. So
Hmm.
they'll always silent. But I feel personally, I think
Hmm.
they're not something low or uh, better than others. So, but
Hmm.
the way they want to present, I think, because basically they want one to one more easy to present rather than in the meetings.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so that's the thing. Say, so this is your point, that introverts are not shy, but
Yeah.
in general, the misconception is that shy people are the introvert people. Right,
Yeah.
but yes, as you said, that there is a difference between shyness and being introvert. Introvert means, does not mean that you are underconfident, right?
Correct.
it
Absolutely.
means it means that you want some time to reflect. It means that you need some me time to think more and to go deeper, right? So yes,
Yeah.
introversion is not the this thing.
I am underconfident.
Yeah, Komal, you want to add something?
Ma'am, actually, I can understand this point. The introverts are not underconfident. That I can understand. But I
Hmm.
always relate that introverts are the shy, because who are the shy person who are not able to express their feelings publicly, right? That is a shy in the simple layman language. And
Hmm.
introverts are also the same person, ma'am, who are not able to express their feelings publicly. One
Hmm.
on one, and the environment in which they are comfortable, that is okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
But what about publicly? Are they able to express themselves publicly?
Okay. So there is a difference, Komal, between they are not able to and they don't want.
Okay, okay.
Right?
If they
So
don't
there is a
want,
difference.
okay. If they don't want, so then they are the shy.
No, no. If they don't want to talk in public, they are introvert. They
Acha,
have
okay.
option. They can do it, but they don't want to.
Okay,
But
okay,
shy
okay,
people are, they are not able to share, they are not able to talk in front of public. So that's
okay,
the difference between shyness and introvert.
okay, got it, man,
You
got
got
it.
it, right? So
Okay,
that's
right.
the difference between shyness and underconfident and being introvert. Introvert have the capability to talk in front of public, but they do not prefer to. You got it, right? Next one, they are antisocial. This is again a misconception. वो समाज के दुश्मन नहीं है. Introvert does not mean they are antisocial. They like to go in public, but choosing their circle, right? So they like to go in public, but with the limited audience, because there is a big reason, right? They don't want social approval. They don't want social recognition. And that's why they are not dependent on social circle, right? So that's why they are okay to be with themselves. They are okay to be with the limited people who have the deep connection, because introvert people are more into deep connection, deep thinking, deep reflection. They do not work in the superficial level, they go into deeper level. Okay, so that's the difference. They are not social, this thing, social antisocial, but they believe in socializing in a limited circle, because they want to have the connection with the like-minded people. And you know, right, deep thinkers and these kind of people are very limited in this world.
Intellectual.
Everybody is busy in show business, right? So introvert people do not belong, do not connect with the show business, and that's why they feel, okay, I have a limited people to work with, to talk to, I'm fine with that, because they are enjoying their own companies. They don't need the approval or social recognition or social dependency, you know. So that's why they are, yes, they are not artificial. Yes, Komal, correct, right? So that's why they are not anti-social. This is again a misconception कि मुझे यदि पार्टी में जाना पसंद नहीं है, if I don't like going party, it does not mean that I'm anti-social. When it is needed, I will go, right? But it's my choice when to go, when not to go. Okay, next one. If you so again a misconception, you need to be loud as a leader, right? So that's why people think that introverts cannot be a great leader, right? Because they are soft spoken, they will talk less, they will think more, they will behave, they are more into themselves, they are not able to handle the team. And that's why they think, people think that introvert cannot be a great leader, right? So these are the misconceptions behind the introvert. Now if you remember, if you're watching me on LinkedIn, if you're watching me Facebook, anywhere, put in a comment box, what are your views, what are your point of view, what are other misconceptions which you can think. So Komal or maybe Bose Babu, you can also add some misconceptions which you have come across, or you have gone through, or you have heard for yourself. For example, Komal said that team will take you in a lighter mode. Yes. No, no, no need to be loud. Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Any other things which you want to add in misconception? Okay. So now we will move to next topic, as we understood the misconception behind the introversion. Okay. So these are the misconceptions which we need to remove, that yes, introvert can also be the great leader. Now let's check the reality. Okay, so till now what we have seen that yes, great leader can be, what is the misconception, what is the perceived reality about the introversion, and what we think as an introvert. They live in isolation, they are the deep thinker, they are shy. So all this we discussed, and we broke the misconception. Now we are going to the reality. Okay, so as Bose Babu and Komal said, introverts tend to think deeply, ऑब्जर्व केयरफुली एंड रिफ्लेक्ट बिफोर दे स्पीक. तो कोमल ने जैसे बोला कि वो तोल मोल के बोलते हैं, तो यस, वो तोल मोल के ही बोलते हैं. Okay, we have a few examples which I would like to refer. Of course we will talk about these leaders which are shown in the picture. Decisions are not accepted easily. Komal, what do you understand by this? Can you explain a little more?
Which one?
Decisions are not accepted easily. Is
Yeah,
this the misconception you have added?
this is a
Oh,
misconception because I have seen ki those leaders who are not introverts. So whatever the decisions, matlab it is in my mind also earlier ki okay he's an introvert person. So whatever the decision she is taking, I should
hmm,
think twice. But if I
hmm,
have seen a louder leader, so
hmm,
definitely there is no second thought is coming into my mind. Okay, this is coming from that person, so definitely the decision must be okay. So this was my
hmm.
misconception earlier.
Understood, understood. So your opinion are not valued. Yes,
Yes,
very good.
yes,
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 very
yes.
valid point. Yes. Do introverts have convincing skills? Yes.
And this is
So
my
Komal, we
question.
will see it. As we will see during the discussion, we will see whether they have the convincing skills or not. Okay. And
Okay.
whether they use it or not, and where do they use? That's the important question. Okay. So yes, let's move ahead. And here you can see few leaders. So as we were discussing at the beginning, that yes, they think deeply, they observe very carefully, and they reflect before they speak. तोल मोल के बोल हमने देखा था. Okay. अब हम देखते हैं. There are few examples which I wanted to highlight. For example, the world leaders like Warren Buffett, like Bill Gates, like Satya Nadella, they are the ones who have created the history. They have created the legacy, and who are introvert, right? So when I was doing the research on this topic, I found these people, not only these people, in fact, Abraham Lincoln, the great leader of history, Ratan Tata, the great leader of history, they were also introvert. And then the question came into my mind, then if these leaders as an introvert they can create history, why can't we as an introvert? Then there is a big question that whether the introvert can be a great leader or not. So these people give the answer, yes, the great leaders can be, an introvert can be the great leaders. Example is in front of you, right? So let's see how these people have used their strength, the introvert personality in their execution. Okay, so let me focus here. Let me go through one by one to these people, and then we will see what are the qualities, how they have used this introversion in their execution. Okay, so first thing, let's talk about the Warren Buffett. Okay, so if you meet, say for example, you are in a meeting room and so Warren Buffett is sitting in that room, by his look, by his behavior, by his attitude, you will not be able to understand that he is an industry leader and world richest person, right? But because he will be the quietest person in the room, he will be in the silent, maybe sitting at the corner, and you will not be able to identify even him that he is the great leader creating the history in the world, right? But he would be the person who has the deepest thought in the room. And if you ask his opinion, he will be the person who will think and reflect back the most in the room. Okay, so this is how he use his strength of deep thinking, and he will reflect, he will research deep into the subject, and that is how his point of view will create, right? So he is not play in a superficial level, and that's why he has done a great job in share markets, because you understand share market is completely based on the deep research and analysis, right? So that's why he has used his strength at the right place, and that is what he made as a great leader, being an introvert. Okay, the next example, Bill Gates. Okay, Bill Gates used to have the think weeks. Now what is think weeks? Think weeks means he used to be in an isolation for weeks. ओके, वो पूरा छोड़ छाड़ के, अपना काम छोड़ छाड़ के कुछ दिनों के लिए, कुछ वीक्स के लिए एक ऐसे एरिया पे चले जाते थे where nobody used to connect with him and he would live in a isolation. And that's where he will make all the strategies which is being implemented in Microsoft, and that is how Microsoft has become the great company of the in technology, in one of the great companies in technology, right? So many ideas which has been implemented in Microsoft, related to technology, related to the innovation. All those ideas have come during these think weeks. Okay, so that is how he used to have these think weeks breaks, so that he can go to the isolation and he can work on his research and without any interruptions. So that is how people used to take the introversion as an strength, and they created the history in the legacy. Yes, yes, he was introvert. Okay, the next one, Satya Nadella. Satya Nadella is the CEO of Microsoft, and he has introduced listening with empathy in the organization. Otherwise, the organization was working based on the domination and controlling attitude of the leader. And once he became the CEO, and you know, the company culture flow or organization culture flow from top to bottom. And that is how he introduced and created listening with empathy, attitude, and culture in Microsoft. Right? So, this is how these great leaders, the innovative leaders, the introvert leaders have used their strength into making legacy and history. Okay, now let's take another example. My favorite is Ratan Tata, and we all know how much introvert he was. He used to live in his own shell. But the ideas, when he came out of his shell, he would give the best idea of the history, and that is how the nano car, that is how the many Tata group has introduced the innovation in technologies, right? So this is the strength of the introvert people, and that is how they can use in their leadership style. Okay, I will give you another research which has been done by Harvard Business School. Okay, so they have done one research. I'll just close this. Okay, and I will share this research which is being done by Harvard School, and they just wanted to try. Why they did this research? They just wanted to try, is introvert people, does introvert or do introvert people can make a great leader or not? So what they did two survey. Okay, one is pizza survey and one is t-shirt survey. So let's talk about the pizza survey first. Okay, so in pizza survey, what they did, they um, sent a questionnaire to the pizza running company, pizza owners, and they collected some questionnaires and their answers. Based on their results, based on their analysis, they found that owners or the pizza houses who have the in or the introvert leaders, they were performing well, and I'll tell you the reason later on. Okay, so first survey they did is the pizza houses who had the introvert leaders, they were really performing well. That was the first survey which HBS has done. The next survey which has been done by HBS was a t-shirt folding survey. So they invited few people. They were the leaders of. So what they did, they made a team of leaders of leaders and followers, right? So they have made few teams where one was the leader and a few of them were the followers, and that is how they created 10 teams almost, right? And then what they did, there was some introvert leaders and there were some extrovert leader, and they were asked to fold the t-shirts in a most creative way, and which team will fold the t-shirts in maximum number with the creativity, they will win this game. And can you tell me the answer, what could have been the result? Anybody would like to tell me the answer, what could have been the result? So the result was yes. So the result was the team, yes, introverts win. And can you tell me the reason why introvert win? Introvert won that game. Anybody? Why introvert won that game?
Ma'am, more creative because they they think very deeply, so definitely they observe carefully. So that's why they think out of the box. Maybe their
Okay.
creativity is
Okay.
more.
Yes, one could be this reason. Another reason? Anybody? No need to show off, just deliver the output. Okay, yes, that could also be the one. I'll give you the result. What happens? Of course, introverts win, but why they won, I'll tell you that later. Okay, so now let's talk about. So this is the result, which again show, which is been, which these two surveys was conducted were conducted in 2010, and it is been released in HBR, Harvard Business Review article. Okay, so this again proves that introverts can become the great leader. Okay, now moving ahead, and let's see, if you are an extrovert. See, we are not trying to say that if you are an extrovert, you are a bad leader. Or if you are an introvert, then only you can be a great leader. No, I am just comparing, and I'm just trying to get the advantage and disadvantage of both qualities so that you can be the great leader. Ultimately, we have to become the great leader. Okay, so now let's move and let's focus on that, what is, how we can become the great leader being the introvert. Okay, so let's focus on the, if you are an extrovert, people think that if you are an extrovert you can definitely a great leader. No, the surprise is, or the twist is that if you are an extrovert, there are few weaknesses, there are few flaws of the weak extrovert. What are the flaws? Let's see. Okay, so the first one is extro. If you have an extrovert leader, if you have an extrovert boss, you will be able to relate with this point. The first point is, they like to instruct, they like to direct, and they like to control. Now how many of you can relate with this? If you have a boss who is controlling, who is dominating, for sure he would be an extrovert person. Okay, so this is the problem of yes, exactly, yes, Komal. So this is the challenge of being an extrovert leader. They like to dominate, they like to give the whole direction and instructions, and that was the reason the t-shirt survey, which has been conducted by HBS, introvert team won, because the leaders were giving enough freedom to the employees or the followers to use their own creativity. And that's why every follower has come up with new ideas and creativity in folding the t-shirts, in compared to the extrovert leaders team who had only one person to add the creativity. So they were, the introvert leader was actually working with the strength of team building, with the team dynamics, but the extrovert leader was only conducting and instructing and controlling. Now you got the difference, that how introvert can be a great leader working with the team dynamics. Okay, now let's go to the next topic. They fail to utilize the team dynamics in most productive way. Say, for example, yes, I saw five-star hotel demonstrate creative designs of towel in the room. So, yes, exactly, Bose Babu. But the only point is, see, if you have dominating boss, and if he says my way or the highway, right? If he says my way or the highway, then always and always you have one idea which he will bring. But if you have 10 people, 10 people to give you the idea of creativity, you will have 10 different ideas of creativity. Which one is better? Right? So this is why introvert leaders are more productive when it comes to team dynamics, because they give chance to every follower, they give chance to, yes, productivity increases. And yes, productivity increases because he is giving chance to to team players who can add their views, who can share their views, and who can work in their own style. Okay, yes, there can be other side of, there can be some negative sides also which are there, which we will talk about, but these are the weaknesses of extrovert leader right now. Okay, yes, not only one mind works, exactly, yes, Komal. Now, they are impulsive in decision making. See, when you are extrovert, right? You are working on your own charm. You want to prove yourself always because you have social dependency. You want social approval. You want social recognition being extrovert. So what will you do? You will show your abilities, you will show your capabilities as a leader by making quick decisions. And that is how you become impulsive in making decision and execution and getting the results. Right? So that is why they also give high commitment, over commitment, and they sometimes the whole team face the challenge of over commitment and they get burnout. How many of you can relate? How many of you have such boss? Right? So this is again a big challenge of, yes, this is again a big challenge or the critical challenge of being extrovert leader or having an extrovert leader. If you have a boss, tough boss, controlling boss, dominating boss who is extrovert, he looks good to others, but the team faces the real challenge. It's very difficult to work with such boss. Okay, next one, they rely a lot on their own charm. No, Komal, so there is no good or bad. See, I am just trying to tell you the side effect or the other side of extrovert. If people think that extrovert are the great leaders, so they are here is the weaknesses or here are the limitations, you know. So I'm just trying to see the two sides of the coin, right? Okay, so they rely a lot on their own charm. See, they think as an extrovert, they think that people love them, and with this belief they try to execute or they try to utilize this strength, right? So because they have social recognition, they try to use this charm everywhere. But you know, right, everywhere you cannot work based on your charm. You have to show the result, right? So these are the weaknesses of the extrovert people. Now let's talk about what are the strength of introvert people, although we have seen by these leaders, but let's focus more of the advantage of introvert people. Okay, so the first one is, as we understood, right, they listen a lot, they understand, and they understand the team dynamics really well. Say, for example, I am a team member and I have great ideas. You will listen to me. You will give me a chance to speak up my ideas, to share my ideas. But if you are an extrovert leader, you will try to dominate your idea onto us, right? So this is the having the advantage of an introvert leader. Next one, deep thinker, reflect a lot, they have the clarity of thought, and they understand the situation really well because they are not in hurry. They don't have to prove anything to anyone, and that's why they take the decision. They understand the situation, they analyze the situation in a deep way. They don't just take decision on a surface level, right? And that's why they have the clarity of thought, because they understood the situation, they know the team dynamics, they understand what is to be done. And that is how, because they have done the deep research, and that's why they have the clarity of thoughts and action plan also, right? Next one, they are conservative in spending their energy. What does it mean? See, you won't see an introvert person talking a lot. As I was giving an example of Warren Buffett, he would not say speak a lot. uh, Ram is introvert and Ravan is an extrovert, is it right? That is something which I won't be able to say, Bose Babu. But here we are not saying that extrovert are the villain. Here we are not saying that introverts are the hero.
No, no,
So
I don't mean I think he's a villain because I don't know. That's what I think people may again misconception. But Ravana is not a
okay,
real villain.
yeah,
He
yeah,
is a
yeah.
good.
Now,
He
okay, so I think what you are saying is in these terms. So I would try to put in different or in my understanding. See, Ravan used to speak a lot about his charm.
yeah,
I am this, I am that. So
correct.
somewhere or the other, he might be needing that social recognition. And that's where you are right, that he would have been an extrovert, showing off.
Yeah.
right? And Ram being I'm not sure if he was introvert, but yes, he never showed off. He never tried to prove his social recognition. He was a deep thinker and not impulsive in decision making. So maybe you are right. Maybe yes, they might be introvert. Ram might be an introvert, and Ravan might be an extrovert. Yes, that's a good thought, by the way. That's a good
Yeah.
thought. Yeah.
Ma'am,
All right.
one more
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Ma'am, a very, matlab, I really like this question. Is the Ram introvert or Raman? So what I can say, ma'am, because we all have listened Ramji. So whenever
Huh.
Ramji spoke now, so they always think, but they always reflect before
Hmm.
speaking. So
Hmm.
reflection, as you told that reflection is a very good quality of the introvert person.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
Ravana, matlab, he also speaks a lot, but he always speaks with the force, matlab, authority.
But one thing, Komal, which I have in
Hmm.
my mind, when you say introvert, it's more
Hmm.
of being isolated and being with me. But I don't think Ram was having that privilege of having me time or being in isolation because he
No,
was
he
in a, I
can't
mean,
be because
he might be
matlab,
doing
he
a
has
different,
multiple responsibilities.
yeah, yeah,
He
Bose
has,
Babu, you want to say something?
No, no.
no, he
Yeah.
had multiple responsibilities, na, ma'am. So because he was a king, so he cannot be
Yeah.
in isolation.
So in that case, you can say by choice he would have been an introvert, but when it comes to responsibility, he has to change his personality to extrovert. So maybe he would have been an ambivert.
So, ma'am,
So
but
that's
definitely,
the see again, he being a Mahapurush,
hmm,
right? Exactly, this is what we need to learn. And for the whole purpose of this session is this, that given a context, sometimes you have to become an introvert and sometimes you have to become an extrovert.
it
And
depends
Correct.
on
that
our
was exactly
profession.
Ram.
It depends
Absolutely.
on our profession, ma'am. Matlab,
Yes,
what
it
I
depends on
feel.
situation and the people around you. So yes, your observation and is correct that sometimes based on the situation he would have been introvert and based on the situation Ram would have been extrovert. But when it comes to Ravan, he would have been
Extrovert.
extrovert completely because he had a lot of social anxiety, social dependency कि लोग उसको भगवान माने, लोग उसको पूजा करें, लोग उसको, हाँ, तो of course your observation is right, correct.
Hmm.
Okay. Now coming back to the advantage of the extrovert, the introverts. Okay. So first thing, they listen carefully. They are the deep thinker. We have gone through this. They are conservative in spending their energy. They do talk less. They don't want to spend their energy unnecessarily until it is really needed, right? And then next one is observation pattern, which they observe the pattern which others miss. See, introvert are the deep reflectors. Okay, so if they analyze the situation, they will go deep into this and they will find out a clue. They will understand something which others are not understanding, which others are not even thinking. And that's why they are the deep thinker, because they are the deep thinker, right? The next one is innovative and creative. So this is what we have seen, because they listen, they get the idea from others also. So वो बोलते हैं ना कि आप यदि बोलोगे तो आप सिर्फ अपने आइडिया ही सुनोगे, यदि आप दूसरों को मौका दोगे तो आप लोगों से 10 आइडिया सीखोगे. So exactly implemented to the introvert, because they listen also, they get other opinions also, and also they are the deep thinker, they are reflective, that's why they are more creative. So yes, these are, and innovation and in creativity we have seen in all leaders we discussed, whether it is Ratan Tata, be it Warren Buffett, be it Satya Nadella, or be it Bill Gates, even the legendary Bill sorry, this Mr. Abraham Lincoln, right? So these were the leaders who, okay, so I will give you the exact example or typical example of introvert and extrovert. This Abraham Lincoln was introvert, whereas Hitler was an extrovert. How about that? Now you would be able to understand and differentiate both. But they both were great leaders. I'm not saying anyone was less, right? So that is how you can understand the importance of great leaders, leadership, whether it is extrovert or introvert. Hitler was not a was of course a great leader because he has influenced lakhs of peoples. So of course he was a great leader, but at the same time Abraham Lincoln was also a great leader even though he was an introvert. So it's not that you cannot be a great leader if you're an extrovert, or you cannot be a great leader if you are an introvert. Both have the qualities if you work on your weaknesses, right? Now coming back to the best solution. Now what is the best solution if you are an introvert? Okay, so as you both told me that yes, we have to work in the best way is to find out the situation, find out the midway. Okay, so it's not about the extrovert versus introvert or introvert versus extrovert. It is about the perfect combination. Now what is perfect combination? Let's see. So you have to use, for example, if you are an introvert, okay, and you are dealing, see, if you have loud people in your team, if you have innovative in your people in your team, then you are winning the game. But if you are also an introvert and your team members are introvert, then there is a challenge. Then you have to become assertive. Now you are getting the point, right? That's why it comes that based on the situation you have to play the role, right? So if your team members are also introvert and you are also introvert, then to make the team productive and to get the result, you have to be shift little bit of extroversion. And simultaneously the reverse case is also applied. For example, if you are extrovert and your team members are also extrovert, then you have to give them the chance to speak up, and you have to listen patiently so that you can use their creativity, you can use their idea as a leader. Okay, so this is how based on the situation you have to take the role, you have to use the advantage of both extroversion and introversion to be a perfect leader, because it's not about introversion versus extroversion, it is about using the perfect combination based on the situation. Okay, because ultimately let us understand what is leadership. Okay, because here we are talking about the leadership. See, the first thing we need to understand is leadership is not about being the loudest in the room. Okay, leadership is not about being the loudest in the room. It is about how much you are clear in your thoughts and ideas. It is about how much depth of understanding the situation you have, and it is about the ability to listen to others and validate their idea and be receptive. Okay, so when you are introvert and if you have to move towards little bit of extroversion, you have to be assertive. And if listen to me very carefully, because this is the quality you need to adopt based on the situation. So if you are an introvert person and you have to be little assertive to get the work done properly. Next, if you are extrovert and you are not empathetic to people, you are trying to dominate people, you are controlling the people, then you have to be little receptive. Okay, so if you are an introvert, become little assertive. If you are an extrovert, become little receptive. Okay, and that is how you can use the both advantage of both personality traits, right? And the last one is, see, leadership is the courage to make thoughtful decision. I have seen many introvert also who try to delay the decision. So this is different personality, this is not introversion. Okay, so that is how you have to decide which situation you are in and which leadership style you have to adopt based on that situation and based on that context. Okay, so Bose, Babu, or Komal, anything would you like to add here?
Ma'am, one question. As you told, if you're introvert, then become little more assertive and proactive. Proactive, could you please explain? Although you have explained this word before, so please explain this word more. not the reaction. This,
Proactive. Proactive. Yes, Bosbabu, would you like to explain?
Yeah, I think I have two examples just coming to my mind. I think when you're talking about the
Hmm.
combination,
Hmm.
especially uh, as per my experience and what I've just gone through it, uh, especially some of the meetings what you chair or something like that. I think several time it comes the power make them extrovert rather than they really think, because since they have by virtue of power, they think that I think they know everything. So that sometimes it's a problem. Okay,
Hmm.
there may be 10 people, 20 people sitting in the meeting. They are more
Hmm.
genuine than the chair,
Hmm.
because the chair is just show off because he has the power, but he doesn't
Hmm.
have the technical in-depth, because one of the point you're saying in-depth knowledge, because
Hmm.
you're not having in-depth knowledge. Many people who are
Hmm.
sitting there have in-depth knowledge, but they don't have the power. So
Hmm.
several times I think the situation is one of the very, very important thing. I think how do you behave, and then see sometimes then I think you don't want to express that time, because uh, you say that I think okay, I'm the super boss. Okay, just keep
Hmm.
quiet.
So
So
I
even
think,
you
yeah. So one misconception is that extroverts are powerful,
correct,
right? So this
absolutely
is again a misconception. Yes, correct. And
correct.
Komal, when you talk about the proactiveness means that you are not you are not waiting for situation or any problem to happen. You take the proactive or precautions in advance. Is it clear to you, Komal?
okay, not waiting for the.
Not waiting for anything wrong to happen. For
Okay, no.
example, you can see
Hmm,
a risk,
hmm,
but you are not taking decision because you don't want to take that responsibility, right? So this is not the leadership quality. This is not about introversion. It is about not taking the ownership. It's a different personality trait.
hmm.
But
Okay.
many people are who are introvert and who are not taking their ownership. They looks like they are not proactive,
Hmm.
right? So it's a mix of different factors, different traits.
Yes, got it. Ma'am,
Yeah.
one more question. Ma'am, as you
Yes.
told, you just shown the three leaders, Bill Gates and Satya Nadella, and one leader was also there. And
Very
what was
important.
the quality in his that uh,
So
he has
Warren Buffett will be the silent person in the
a
room.
person, but he has a deepest thought, right?
Yes,
So,
yes,
ma'am,
yes.
suppose,
Nobody would have thought about that point and he would speak about it.
but suppose
That.
suppose a meeting is going on,
Hmm,
okay, and my
hmm,
question is that suppose I'm taking my example, suppose I'm an introvert person, okay,
hmm,
but I, I I don't want to speak more in the meetings, but I have
hmm,
a great thoughts in my mind. So
hmm,
do I take the initiative, or do I wait ki, okay, someone is asking, okay ma'am, just share your inputs about this thing. So being an
hmm.
introvert person, what should I do in that situation?
If you're asking should, then
Huh.
definitely you should share your point of view. Why? Because if you think that your input is really important to get the result, you should do that. But what generally you would do, you will wait, since you are energy conservative mode, right? You have
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
energy conservative mode. So
Hmm.
you will wait others to ask this question. And if nobody is asking, then you will ask this question.
Then, matlab,
So,
being an introvert, I should also take the initiative, see whether
hmm,
someone is asking from me or not. But
hmm.
at least at the end, I should take the initiative to share
Yes,
my thoughts also.
yes, yes. Because
Okay.
this is, if you feel that this is important, then definitely it is important, right? And if
Right.
nobody is bringing out this particular question,
Okay. And
I
then
think
one more question. You,
I
sir,
go
you
ahead.
are saying. Okay.
yeah, boss babu, you want to add something?
Yeah, just I just want to add on to what Komal is asking. So,
Hmm.
Hmm,
see, any of the meetings, so I understand what she's coming from. So that
hmm,
what I think, because even as a CEO and executive director, because spent almost 8, 10 years. So I see the people, uh, they have definitely some good ideas. So the problem is, I think, as a leaders, we have to give an opportunity to speak out. But
Hmm.
several times, unless and until we give them opportunities, I ask, like you are asking, I think, Mr. Babu, you have anything point to say? Komal, you have. If you allow me, then only I'll speak. Because otherwise, I'm
Hmm.
not going to speak and I was not supposed to speak. That is again
Correct.
a meeting decorum. Because I cannot just raise my hands every just now and then and say that no, we are not in the school that I think because we do like this. Okay. When we are
Yes.
talking about agenda, so once we complete that agenda, as a leader, you should ask, yes, please X, you have any ideas, suggestions, comments? Why, Jet, everybody, just give them a chance. And if they want to come out, is fine. But if you don't give
Hmm.
them opportunity, they never come out. See, ultimately,
Correct.
that is a failure of leader, not the people present.
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Because when you call the people, you should give them respect. I think because there are purpose. Otherwise, why are you calling them? You said just
Yes.
I can give instruction. Okay, go and do this. That's all. You don't need to waste everybody's time in calling for a meeting. So
Correct.
I think like Kamal, the point I'm saying is, if you get opportunity, yes, you should speak out. If you don't,
Right,
you are not given opportunity, please don't speak because that is their problem, not your problem.
right, sir. Yes, yes, yes. Got it, sir.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much, everyone, and especially Komal and Bose Babu for putting your input here. And I'm sure people listening, people would listen in recording also, and they will get lots of value out of this discussion. So thanks again. And again, so if you are listening right now to us, if you want to be part of this discussion, you need to connect with me through LinkedIn or through Facebook, and then I will add you because we are building an invitation based community for like minded people only. So if you are interested to join this community, let me know, DM me, message me, and then I will add you in WhatsApp group. There we will get connected and we discussion, you can be the part of this discussion. Okay. So thank you everyone, thank you so much, and we will come up with such interesting topic again. And thanks a lot for your contribution. In case you have any question, you are watching in recording, ask this question in a comment box and we would answer your question. Thank you so much. Good night and have a great
Thank you. Bye bye.
Saturday.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you so much
Bye.
for such an insightful
Thank
session.
you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Bye bye.
Bye.